These are the recreated barracks. This is the men's quarantine camp. All this first row here inside of Birkenau. All along here are guard watchtowers. They closed this road off entirely, I think. Maybe not. No, they did not. They closed the road walking up, not this road, but this used to be a well-traveled road. Looks like they had a bypass in, so. Every one of these buildings could house up to 1,000 people with no facilities, no running water inside of it. They slept 18 to a 3-tiered bunk, 6 on a level. There was, just imagine the enormity of it. It goes on forever back there. Every 2 smokestacks, every 2 chimneys, I should say, represents another building that has not been recreated. It goes on and on. Over there is the village of Brzezinka, which was destroyed. Up here as well, straight ahead, is Brzezinka. Birkenau is what the Germans called it. They kicked all the inhabitants out. They took all the farmlands and made the camp. They kicked the inhabitants of the community out, and they made this entire area part of the camp fields and factories, and so the entire city was razed, or town was razed to the ground and then shut off from the public. So it was all part of the manufacturing and agricultural part of the camp outside the gate, but it was part of the functioning camp, which is now just once again the village of Brzezinka. Here's one of those bomb shelters I said. A little bit less intimidating than the one we saw before. Way there's one here, there's one back there, there's one more up here. That's one row of remains of a camp. Behind them was the Theresienstadt family camp. Behind that was the Hungarians camp. Behind them was a men's camp. This is the men's quarantine camp. And that was the Roma camp, the Gypsy camp, the Roma camp. At the very back, before we get to the cordoned off area, was the area where Dr. Mengele had a number of barracks and for medical experiments. Behind that were the gas chambers and a place called Canada, where they stored all the stuff that they got from the people who came here before they were either processed or killed. At the very back of the camp or gas chambers 2 and 3, 4 and 5. In this area, coming up to our left, after this sort of is like another section of the camp, there was an area to the right here that was never completed, but it was started to expand Birkenau to make it even bigger. And they called this area Mexico. Why, I don't know, but they called it Mexico. And this was meant to hopefully they hoped to grow it even, you know, almost double the size. It was only partially completed by the time the Nazis fled in defeat in January of 1945. It starts over, not quite yet here. This is not quite Mexico, but when we get to the next fence line here, that Mexico begins to the right. It is fascinating as well, as you know, history plays mind games on people sometimes, and the controversies. This building over here, right across the street, is a Catholic church today, and it sounds like they're having mass as we speak. This was the headquarters for the SS during the war, and it was converted into a Catholic church in the decades after the war. Controversial for many reasons. Not only is it the SS headquarters, but now it's a Catholic church in an area where so many Jews died. And they are having mass as we speak. And this is the end of Birkenau and the beginning of Mexico. This Mexico goes much further than the camp to expand. It was going all the way to the tree line and beyond, actually, but they never finished it. This is Mexico.
Ogłoszenia duszpasterskie. Przed nami dożynki w naszej parafii. W imieniu sołtysów, wszystkich osób zaangażowanych w przygotowanie tych pięknych uroczystości oraz własnych.
Only part of this has been preserved as the camp. So this was not the end of the camp. This was the beginning of Mexico there, and this, where they have it here, is sort of the end that they have it. But Mexico is going to go all the way beyond where that next road is up here. So I want to walk up that road in some areas that they don't take you on the tour. So I'll pause it for now.